Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Season 5 is less than 2 weeks away, so I want to talk about some of the features that will be coming to Season 5, some of the buffs and some of the nerfs. Now, I'm going to try and focus on what we know, what's been confirmed, and some theories based on the in-game teasers and things like that. So everything in this video is going to be pretty much on point. Of course, there's going to be some obvious stuff, like there's going to be a new weapon in Legend, but we'll try to provide some more insight into what they may actually be. So we'll jump into it, and first we have a Mirage Buff. Mirage has needed a buff for a long time. It's been a long time coming, and the developers have confirmed that a buff is on its way, and there's been some hints that it may end up happening in Season 5. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Mirage may get a complete rework, and I think it's well needed. Some people think that the Mirage Ultimate that was seen in Dummy's Big Day may make a return. If you didn't see that before, essentially when Mirage went into his ult, the dummies around Mirage would follow Mirage's movements exactly. So if you ran, slid or whatever, the dummies would also do that. It's much better than just having the dummies stay still, but how it will be effective in game, I'm still not too sure. However, if you could then go invisible and then push somebody, it could be a good engagement tool instead of it only being really used for disengages. I know some people do engage with it too, but imagine having tons of bamboozles following you around and all of those bamboozles stay there until they're all destroyed. That could actually be really strong. Mirage, of course, needs a lot of love in all areas, not just his ultimate. Some people say that Mirage could do with having 2 tacticals instead of just 1. For example, Revenant and Bangalore have 2 tactical charges, and it would be very easy for Mirage to have that too. So you have 2 charges on your bamboozle ability. Very easy, a very simple fix, but I do hope they add more, bamboozling potential with the decoys themselves. We'll have to see. Mirage's passive is also pretty weak, so that definitely needs some love. And ultimately, Mirage is a bit of a problem because he's not so great in team play. But hopefully they will fix something or add something in Season 5 which will change that. Next, we have the Havoc, which will be getting a nerf. Very likely it's going to hit in Season 5. Now, the Havoc is a very strong weapon. It got the turbocharger removed, which means the developers wanted to sort of buff it to keep it balanced. And what they did is they made the recoil really easy to control. So what you have now is a headshot machine with a really high DPS. Yes, there is a charge up time, but after that charge up time, the Havoc has one of the highest DPSs in the game. It's just really strong. I still think that the turbocharger version was better. I mean, the recoil on the Havoc was never really that bad. It was just straight up one of the easiest recoil patterns to learn. So either way, the Havoc's getting nerfed. I imagine it'll probably just be like a straight damage nerf, making sure the DPS is more in line with everything else. But if it keeps that charge up time, I hope they don't nerf it too much, because then nobody's going to use it, and that would suck quite a bit. Next, we have a buff for Octane. Now, this is more of an indirect buff. Octane may not be getting ability buffs, although I do hope that happens. The thing that should be happening to Octane in Season 5 is a fixed hitbox. I made a video about all of the hitboxes in Apex Legends. I got a lot of traction. I'm really glad that a lot of you spread it on Reddit, and the post got a lot of views because the developers have said that they are aware of this hitbox problem. So if you guys ever say that being communicative with the devs is a bad idea or that they never listen, this is straight proof. They do, and I'm really happy to see that they should be working on Octane's hitbox like they did with Pathfinder. The devs have been really communicative recently, so it's really great to see. Getting a fix to Octane's head hitbox is going to actually be a big deal because his body is really small, so that could go in his favor really well. That in itself would be a huge buff, like really big. But hopefully we get some love for Octane's abilities too. He's also kind of like Mirage, not in exactly the same way, but he's not so great for the team. His jump pad can have some team potential sometimes, and I have found that personally it does pair really well with Revenant's ult, because with Revenant's ult you're able to just be hyper aggressive, and being able to jump pad up somewhere is great, and you get some good potential there, but it definitely needs some love. I think Octane's tactical is great. I do think that Octane deserves to have a new passive or a better passive, because it's pretty poor, and it really is just the tactical has some added disadvantage, and because of that the passive just kind of patches that on. Like, it doesn't make sense really. Octane needs a new passive, and Octane's ultimate needs a rework. That's my opinion. I hope it comes in Season 5, but if not, hopefully we get the hitbox fix. The next thing to talk about is the new map location. Every season we either get a new map or a map change. Now, the teasers in-game are heavily hinting that we'll be going back to Labs, and Labs is on Kings Canyon. So to me, I honestly believe we'll be going back to Kings Canyon. In the lore, we know that Kings Canyon was abandoned because the creatures overrun that area, so we all came to World's Edge. Yeah, you can thank Crypto for that. He basically hacked the repulsor, which keeps all the creatures out of the island. So the repulsor came crashing down, all of the creatures came onto the island, so we have no idea what kind of creatures could be lying about. We've got flyers, probably got leviathans, maybe even prowlers at this point. Goliaths? Maybe, who knows? But either way, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be overgrown. This is my opinion here. This is completely a theory, but I just think that there's going to be a lot more fauna and wildlife on the island now. I hope that it doesn't impact the competitive nature too much, but we do have World's Edge in rotation. I doubt that map will go. So in the lore, we'll have a upgraded Kings Canyon with an expanded labs area. So the labs area underground should have more rooms, more tunnels, more interesting things to explore. And then, of course, we will have World's Edge kind of as a non-lore, non-canon map that we can go back to in duos, trios, and it'll probably be, we'll have a ranked split where one is World's Edge and one is Kings Canyon. So the next thing to talk about is the new legend. Now, I think we've all seen the leaks. It's likely to be the character that Revenant left in the Season 4 trailer. That little girl, and Revenant killed her parents. Now, this girl has grown up by this point. She's an adult, and she's looking like she's ready to get some revenge. I don't want to put the leaks here, but you can go search for them. This character is supposed to be some kind of thief, which would make sense. Her parents were thieves. They were considered the classic Bonnie and Clyde situation. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's definitely going to be some interesting thief-based abilities. So that'll be good to see. And then next we have the new weapon. Now, we do not know what the new weapon will be, and unlike the leak for the Sentinel, or not really a leak, they accidentally put it in the game in Crypto's finisher, for the Season 5 weapon, we don't really know. Some people are still thinking the Vault could be the next weapon, and it's totally possible. I mean, I do think that they will be adding over the weapons from Titanfall slowly, but I have felt like they want to add some variety too. So the Sentinel and the Havoc are great examples of that. But we'll have to wait and see. There's also the possibility it's the softball, which is sort of this grenade launcher weapon. It doesn't actually feel like a grenade launcher. It feels more like just a normal weapon with interesting projectiles, basically. But yeah, that would be interesting in Apex Legends. I'd love to see how that kind of plays out, and we have seen that in the Season 4 trailer. So that's pretty much it. That is the roundup. We talked about a Mirage buff, a Havoc nerf, an Octane hitbox buff, a new map location, a new legend, and a new weapon. Now, a lot of this is, of course, up to speculation, but I think that's a pretty good guess. Of course, we're going to have tons of balance changes, and who knows what else, but at the moment, these are the more kind of solid details we have, and things we can speculate on a bit more. Before we go, I also want to comment on the lore of Apex Legends, because one of the writers kind of hinted that maybe all of the characters will get some kind of lore in Season 5. Now, of course, I don't know what extent that will be. It's very unlikely we'll get some kind of cinematic trailer for every legend. Of course, it takes a lot of work. It actually took 8 months to get the Bloodhound one done. So I don't know what that will be, but maybe we'll start to see some more in-game lore, which is definitely something I would be really up for. Lore for me is always fun to explore, and I know they've got a ton of stories they want to tell, but it definitely takes a lot of work. But either way, hopefully we'll see some little subtle lore pieces in Season 5, maybe some bigger chunks of lore as well. Definitely excited to see how the story evolves, as well as all the content too. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to be covering Season 5 as soon as it launches, so definitely subscribe here. The moment it goes live, you'll be seeing all of the patch notes and changes and stuff like that. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and I'll see you very, very soon. Cheerio! Thank you so much for watching. If you want more content, I am currently doing a sort of Apex training series in my members area, so it's just $2.99 a month to join, and I'll be adding new videos every week, and you can talk with me and ask me what videos or tips you want me to create, and I'll make videos specially created for the members. So yeah, definitely sign up for that.